Hello, welcome to Steve McDonald's Arts and Crafts. Now, today what I'm going to be doing is something slightly different. I'm going to be talking about the 7 reasons why crafters fail at business. And while I'm talking about that, I'm also going to be making one of my best sellers, which are these fridge magnets. And towards the end of the video, I'll also be talking about how much I sell these for and how I sell them. First thing that I find, crafters and artists are very creative and talented, but have a limit in their business knowledge and often think that sales and things are just going to happen. My advice would definitely do some research around business practices. Think about how you can do business things. Watch videos, and I've got quite a lot of videos now in this series that will be helpful. And all these things will contribute to you being successful. Personally, crafting was my second business. Prior to this, I was a professor at a university where I taught and did consultancy work on setting up and starting small businesses. So I have a really big background business knowledge, and also I spent quite a lot of time working in a small business as well that I owned. So I have quite a lot of experience. So I was fortunate. But that experience was learned, and you can learn that yourself quite easily. Number 2 is don't think their work is good enough or finished, or they have what I consider, and a lot of people call, imposter syndrome, where they judge themselves far too harshly against the work of others. There is also a fear often of being judged, and that is something that you need to try and combat. More often, we are our worst critics. As an example, I painted a picture that I absolutely hated. It was a resin pour that I did a few months ago. I really didn't like it. I thought, oh, this is awful. I went to a craft show recently and I took this because it was done on a piece of really quite nice hard board. And I thought, actually, I'll use this to prop something else up with and it'll be useful like that. Never intending to sell it. Within about 5 minutes of me starting to set this up, someone saw the picture, loved it, and bought it for £60. What's that, about $75? I was flabbergasted. They absolutely adored it and said that they could see all these things in it. So never over harshly criticise your own work. Others will find beauty where you don't. Number 3 is focusing on the wrong things. People make often what they like rather than what sells. It's knowing about what sells that's really, really important. And I talk about this quite a lot in my members group, and here's the name of my lovely members. And we talk about this in the Facebook group, and we just discuss this quite often. Just because you're making something, it doesn't mean it's going to sell. So know what it is that your audience wants. And also, who is likely to visit your websites or pages and things like that. If you're targeting teenagers, and they're not the people that attend these sorts of things or look at your website, and it's more likely to be middle-aged men and women, then make sure that you're making and creating stuff that would appeal to them. And vice versa, if it is teenagers that attend all these things. Number 4 is building relationships. It's so important to build relationships with potential fans and customers. Build up an email list to send exclusive offers and deals to them. People love a deal, and also they like that personal touch. If they don't want you to send emails, then they'll either block you or unsubscribe. So you're not harassing these people. I mean, don't send them emails every day, but keep them up to date on what you're doing, what you're making, and show them pictures as well. You'll be surprised how many sales will come from that. So make sure that you engage on social media with people so they know you and trust you. But my biggest thing is make sure that you never promote anything that you do not believe in, or tell people something is amazing when it isn't. Integrity and honesty is far more important when building up relationships than making a quick buck. So by promoting something that is rubbish and saying it's good, people are going to buy it. They're never going to trust you again. And I just couldn't live with myself. So always make sure that you're being honest. Now, some people might buy something that you really love and not enjoy it, but at least you're being honest and they'll know you're being honest. And once people start to trust you, then they will often visit you or see you or watch your stuff far more often and buy stuff from it as well. Number 5 is a biggie. Now, often crafters and artists don't dedicate enough time to the business, spending more time crafting and creating than on the business itself, and then wonder why they have lots of stock and very few sales. Personally, I have a 75-25 split of my time, and surprisingly, only 25% of my time is spent crafting. I wish it was more, but it isn't, because I'm running this as my business. It's my sole income. So I have to dedicate it to the business. So that could be answering messages, putting stuff on Facebook, editing videos, sending out emails, making sure that my stuff is up to date, checking Instagram or Facebook and things like this and answering those sorts of things. So a lot of it is then dedicated on the business. The other thing is I make sure that I know all my costings and keep track of all that. Really, really important. Number 6 is rely on an income stream or just one income stream. And it's important to diversify an income. I wouldn't be able to cope with just the income I get from YouTube. It just wouldn't cover my daily or weekly or yearly costs. So I have more than one income stream, and I will be talking about how to diversify and include income streams in more detail in an upcoming video. So don't worry about that. That is something I will be covering. And number 7 is my other biggest bugbear, and that's undervaluing their products and don't have any idea how much, as I said earlier, their costs are, and as a result their sales only just sometimes cover the costs or don't even cover the cost of producing that product, painting, picture, resin piece, and therefore you have no profit. And if you have no profit, you have no income. So it's important to know what your costings are for everything that you're selling. And it's not a sin or a dirty secret to make a profit. Profits are important. It's what keeps us going. It keeps the world going. It's what allows us to pay our bills. So ensure that you know your profits. Now, later on in this video, I will be talking a little bit more about how much I sell these particular magnets for and why I sell them at the price that I sell them. So stick around and listen to that. A lot of these things that I've talked about today are also going to be covered in more depth or have been covered in more depth in videos in this series. But I just wanted you to have an overview of why businesses and crafters often don't succeed at business, which is a shame because we have so much to offer. These sell really, really well. Most of these I make are made with leftover resin that I've got, like I showed you. The magnets aren't expensive at all, and I already have the molds from other things. So even if I sell these for £1 each, so what's that, about $1.22, then I'm still getting money back and making money on them, and it brings people like to see a variety of prices on your stalls or on your websites. If I was to sell them on my website, then I would obviously have to put a delivery charge on them unless I was posting them in the UK. If it was going outside the UK, then there'd have to be a delivery charge on them. Or I would chuck them in with someone else's order. If they ordered £50 or something, then they'd get a free one of these. These are all stuck on here now. They are not going anywhere, and I think it finishes those off really well. Let me know in the comments if you make them. I'd love to know what sorts you make. You could also put vinyl stickers on them, personalise them up a little bit. All these things really do help them to sell. These are, without a doubt, the most popular types of fridge magnet. And to be honest, you go into any bar, you don't have to buy these. You can go into any bar and pick up some. And it's easy to push them back into shape. You get $1.25 a pound for one of those. Next popular are the dog and cat things, and then this type of thing where there's two-tone is really popular as well. Please boot that like button, really helps my video to get out there. Hit that subscribe button, and if you want to get hold of anything that I've used today, including the link to buy me a coffee to help support this channel, then all that is in the description, along with a lot more information as well that you might find useful. Take care, enjoy your resin. Bye.